in the world with the face who runs
the place, T-Roy, the OG on the marquee, Jaybird, and the cat who runs the chat with the stats, Statman Surge. We are Don't Hassle Us, We're Local. We're not a Quad City Sports Talk radio show. We're not the Quad City Sports Talk radio show. We are your Quad City Sports Talk radio show. Welcome to the conversation, Quad Cities. But first, the Dawn.
It is the day after the draft. Merrick Braven studio again with us.
I'm back, baby.
Oh, my word. Adrian is not here. He probably got so drunk off that Justin Fields trade by the Bears. We have so much to unpack, talk about. Merrick and I have already been just back and forth on this. Bird in the house, obviously. Yeah. The lord of the board, if you will. Man, what an interesting draft. The fireworks did not start until, I'd say, right around pick 9.
It really didn't. I mean, I couldn't have been more off about how I thought 4, 7, and 8 there was going to be trades.
Yeah, you thought there was going to be a lot of trades. We only saw one trade in the top 10, huh?
Mm-hmm. And then Erickson turned 39 today. It's a sad day for Erickson and the Packer fans. I'm sorry. I'll just start with that right there.
Well, can we start with my prediction from yesterday?
Yes. Go ahead. Actually, that's
incredible.
A very good one.
I saw the tweet from Tom Pelissero that the Niners had made an offer for Aaron Rodgers, and the Packers said no. And it got me to thinking, well, could they entertain a trade offer? And looking at the top 10 picks, I was like, who would be most likely to offer something for Rodgers? And I looked at the Broncos, and they have a history of bringing in aging quarterbacks to give them their one last run, as they did with Peyton Manning. And I thought maybe they'd package number 9. That didn't end up happening, okay? So I wasn't completely Nostradamus over here. But there's still talks out there that they could be interested, that maybe a deal gets done post June 1st, when it would only cost them $17 million to move on. Only $17 million. Yeah. Only $17 million to move on from Rodgers. We'll see what happens. I know I was texting a bunch of my Packers fan friends about what they thought, and some of them were on board. Some of them were like, yeah, let's do the deal. Let's ship them off just like we did Favre and try and rebuild quickly, and we won't have to suffer through a bunch of lean years.
Build back better, if you will.
Yeah. And then some of my Packer fan friends were losing their minds, to say the least. Texting me things that I cannot repeat on air here.
Really?
Yeah. Bad words.
Very upset that this was happening. The sky was falling. And I had to remind them that they had a quarter of a century of Hall of Fame caliber QB play back-to-back.
They don't care about that.
And that they need to chill out. And maybe it'd be good for them to have a few years of some losing seasons, stockpile some good picks, and do a proper rebuild. But we'll see what happens there. It's very interesting.
What does that lead you to believe about the situation between Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers?
I think Rodgers wants out. I think Green Bay does not want Rodgers out, as they shouldn't, right? He's a Hall of Fame quarterback. Some would say the most talented player to ever play the position. He doesn't have as many accomplishments as some of the other guys with the one Super Bowl victory, but some would say the most talented quarterback to ever play the position. So clearly, in my opinion, they want to keep Aaron Rodgers, at least for another season, maybe 2 seasons, and then maybe they'd be willing to move on from him then. But he turns 38 midway through this upcoming season. He's expensive. He's not always the most pleasant guy to be around, by all accounts. Ask his own family.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Whoa.
I saw a tweet last night. It was a supposed text from Aaron Rodgers. Clearly it was facetious, but he said, the Packers are like family to me. It takes you a second to get it, but when you get it...
Yeah. I get it, yeah. Well, you mentioned his age. We obviously know there's not a team out there that mortgages their future for Aaron Rodgers. You can't...
Not yet.
If you're the Packers now, you're not going to.
But you might take a second and a third this year, and then take a 1 and a third.
You can't take it. I mean, in 2022.
What do you mean?
Or you take their picks, somebody's.
Yeah. If
Or
you're
you're
the
saying
Packers,
you think today
you
in the
can
second and
still
third.
make the trade today, and
So
maybe
49ers
maybe
send
there,
Jimmy G.
sure, maybe
or
there
Denver
was
sends Drew Lock. And
maybe there was some posturing, and maybe if I'm the Packers, I don't want a quarterback back in the deal. I just
Because they
roll
got
with
Love,
Jordan
yeah,
Love,
yeah.
and if Jordan Love is great, cool, we solved our problem. If he sucks, we're gonna pick top 5 next year, and we'll just snag a quarterback then.
You've got to look at it. You got to look at some of it through Aaron Rodgers' lens, okay? And you go back through the history of their draft, what they've done in the last 10 years, and it's been and this is off the top of my head,
did you see
defensive end, cornerback, defensive end.
They've taken one offensive player since he became the starter.
Did
Jay,
you
know
see
who that
the
is?
stat?
Jordan Love, thank
Yes.
you.
Did
Yep.
you see the stat last night about how many touchdown passes he's thrown to a first round pass catcher in his
Zero?
career?
Zero?
1. I don't know if it's how many touchdowns, but one player drafted in the first round has caught a touchdown from Aaron Rodgers.
was
Was
drafted
it
before
in the
him.
Pro Bowl?
It was Mercedes Lewis,
Oh, jeez.
former Jaguars tight end.
Yeah. Huh.
That's incredible.
Do you want to ride in my Mercedes?
So,
And who'd they draft last night in the first round? Did they go grab themselves a nice, young, speedy receiver, T-Roy?
No.
What do you got down there on that sheet?
I got 2 red marks, so my thing is marked up, Jay. I have color codes.
Who
So
did the
everybody understands.
Packers bring in to calm Aaron Rodgers down?
They reach on a corner out of Georgia. He's a very good player. I love Eric Stokes.
He's fast.
I think I see talent in Eric Stokes. Eric Stokes is a second-round player at best, Green Bay. You could get him in the second round. No one was going to jump ahead of you and take him at 62.
Well, maybe they'll just send him on a bunch of 9 routes, and he can catch some bombs from Aaron Rodgers, even though he plays cornerback.
Eric Stokes was not the best defensive back available at the time.
When I
Trayvon
watched that,
Moorwood was still available.
and there's so many receivers still left on the board that could help that offense. And you would think if you're trying to smooth things over with Rodgers and you're not going to move on from him, you might be like, hey, okay, we understand you're upset here. Maybe we can talk about that contract situation. And also we drafted Elijah Moore or Dwayne Eskridge and I know he's small,
Moore.
but Tutu Atwell, Rondale Moore. There's so many receivers.
Terrace Marshall.
Yeah, do you want a big-bodied receiver? Who are you going to cover in the end zone? You covering Devontae? You
Or
covering Terrace?
And by the way, Terrace can fly.
Yeah, but instead they take a cornerback.
That to me was the biggest snafu of the draft overall. Denver passing on Justin Fields there, and I told Jay this last night. I know he thinks Denver's going to be good. I am sorry.
Yeah.
Denver is going nowhere in that division. Their quarterback play stinks to high heaven.
And that's
They
why
have
they'll
the-
trade for Aaron Rodgers.
They have the worst quarterback in the AFC West. Hands down.
Maybe his completion
down.
percentage was last in the NFL.
They had already covered the cornerback position when they free agent and got the kid from
Chicago.
I believe
Fuller.
his name Fuller.
Yep.
Listen, Surtain, the pick as in the player itself,
Great player.
he's awesomely talented. But for what Denver needed, it didn't match. It was terrible.
I'll play devil's advocate on that one and say when you're playing against Patrick Mahomes twice a year and you're playing against those receivers for Kansas City twice a year, having extra defensive back help doesn't hurt you.
It doesn't hurt you. But at the same time, you still need to score.
But I found that interesting because there were all those rumors yesterday leading up to the draft and even during the draft about the Broncos trading for Aaron Rodgers. And even Mark Schlereth came out and said it was as close to a done deal as it could be. And then it didn't happen. But Denver didn't take a quarterback, and Justin Fields was available to them. I had heard they were enamored with Trey Lance. That didn't happen. But they didn't address the quarterback spot outside of trading for Teddy Two Gloves, and clearly he's not the long-term solution in Denver. I still think there's a possibility that a deal for Rodgers gets done. Does it happen during the draft? Maybe. Does it happen after the draft? I would say maybe it's a little more likely. You trade future picks. And from what I heard leading up to the draft, future picks are being treated like gold coins right now because we all said it yesterday. This year's draft was the most unpredictable draft that we have seen in a very long time, maybe ever. Teams didn't have as much information on these kids as they have had in years past. So if you can trade future picks, or you can acquire, future picks if you're Green Bay, then maybe that's the way to go. And then you have full off seasons, full college football seasons to evaluate these players, evaluate their tape, have full interviews, have a full combine. Maybe Green Bay says, that post-June 1st trade saves us more money. We're willing to do it then, and we'll take your first-round pick next year. We'll take your first-round pick in 2023, and we'll take some mid-round picks plus a young player as well, whether that's a receiver or a defensive player. Who knows?
I like the fact that I got the first three right.
You were happy about the Trey Lance pick.
Trey Lance, I mean, I could hang my hat on that. That was the biggest question going into this draft. Obviously, I had 4 of the first 5 right. I think I could have easily changed Kyle Pitts on my pick to Atlanta. I kind of stubbornly stuck with Penny Sewell there.
Before we get into that, let's tie a bow on this Rodgers situation.
Yeah.
I want to vote from everyone. Will Aaron Rodgers be the starting quarterback for the Green Bay Packers Week 1, 2021 NFL season?
Yes.
T-Roy?
Not 2022.
So he will start Week 1 this year.
Yes.
So you're
He will be the
eliminating
quarterback to this year.
You're eliminating the possibility of a holdout.
I want to.
He's not James Harden. He's not going to put on 10 pounds and just refuse not to play.
But is he Carson Palmer?
Tell me this. You said something again about
They have the
what's
same
going to
agent.
happen. What's going to happen in June with his salary hit?
Post June, if he's traded post June, from what I read earlier on the way in, it's like a $17 million cap hit. But if he's traded now, it's the full hit, like 30 whatever.
So it's the June thing. June 2nd, I believe, is when that.
So you
hits.
can get a deal in place now, but it can't become official until June 1st. So you'd
It's
have
like
to wait a
same thing
little
with, like
over a
Matt
month.
Ryan.
I'm going to tell you right
Atlanta
now, the
would've taken
writing's
a
on the
quarterback.
table then. The writing is on the table. All you got to do is read it because it's like you got to do the black light to it. Somebody wrote it in that fancy stuff for you.
Yeah.
To use black light.
It's like in the vinegar writing thing
Yeah.
that you need to like do a match.
Denver
display.
passed
On Justin Fields, yep.
because the deal's done after June. He's going to be a Denver Bronco, and that's why they
And
took
they're
Surtain.
and the Packers are comfortable getting future picks. They didn't need picks this year because they already have their quarterback. They drafted him in the first round last year. So who were you going to take? That was always my question too. Is you trade into pick number 9. Who do you grab? Well, clearly they were interested in cornerback, so they could have had Surtain.
And if they were interested in keeping Aaron Rodgers, they weren't taking Eric Stokes.
Yeah, that's why I would.
So
At this point in
Okay,
time,
I can actually buy into that. I can.
And by the way, Erickson already said if this happens, we need to go check on him.
well, at this point in time, I would lean towards Rodgers either sitting out and then reporting in Week 10 or whatever he has to do to get an accrued season towards his contract, or I would just lean towards him being traded to Denver, and I think that's the team. Yesterday, San Francisco obviously was mentioned first. They don't have the picks to get him.
Yeah.
Las Vegas was mentioned, but there's some stuff going down in Las Vegas, and it's kooky stuff. They reached big time for their first round pick, and apparently somebody's head is going to roll for that. Mayock maybe.
Yeah,
because there's rumblings there that Gruden and the owner are not happy with that selection whatsoever. They took Alex Leatherwood, tackle from Bama. Leatherwood was viewed as a second-round pick.
Yes,
I think
by
we all
most
were, yeah.
draft nicks.
I mean, I was with T-Roy last night during this, and T-Roy let out a big, oh, wow.
I think he's a
was
good
really
player,
surprised,
but they took him at 17.
Yeah.
That's a reach. It's a reach.
Yeah.
Now, if he turns out to be a great player, nobody's going to care if you took him at 17 or in the second round. But people care now, and Mayock's job may be on the line.
Well, I thought that was, like I said, the same thing. Jay's right. I said, oh, wow. I thought they needed D-line help or there was a better O-lineman.
Now, they did need offensive line help, but they probably could have waited on that. Where do they pick in the second round? What do you got that?
Pittsburgh?
Las Vegas.
Or Las Vegas. I do not have... Oh, they pick at 48.
Yeah, you got 48. You could have taken Alex Leatherwood there.
Or you gotten something close to it.
Yeah. So I guess, again, leaning towards him either sitting out or being traded to Denver right now. I'm not 100% positive on that. Nobody is. But, maybe Rogers tells us all to RELAX, and with his nice soothing voice that he has. And in a few weeks, this was all just fun talk, and it amounts to nothing. We'll see.
The Bears trade with the Giants now. I thought the Bears crushed it. I don't know necessarily.
I texted you last night, Jay. Now, you do have your Bears colors on today for those
Yeah,
watching on the
was supposed to be
Facebook.
my workout, but I got busy taking phone calls. Yeah.
I asked you if you were stoked on this trade, and you said you'd rather have Gardner Minshew.
I really did. I'm sorry I'm stuck on it, but I think the numbers are there. I think he's
Not a Fields fan?
It's not that I'm not a Fields fan.
I think he's going to flourish in this offense.
And I hope he does well. And I hope he's the quarterback for as long as Bear fans want him to be and the Bears organization can have him. Of course, do I have the same worries that anyone else would have about name me an Ohio State quarterback who's done well? You can say the same thing about Mac Jones who won at 15. Name me an Alabama quarterback who's done well.
Something I found out last night that I didn't know, and I feel like I should have known, but that Mac is short for McCorkle.
His name is McCorkle.
McCorkle.
Well, it's funny. Jay used to be a McCorkle.
Yeah,
So
that's
he
what,
changed it.
originally that's what they were going to name me, yeah.
Oh, that's
McCorkle
amazing.
Foster.
Yeah.
What is that? What is that? What's a McCorkle?
Sounds like
I-
something you cook in a pot roast.
It does, yeah.
It sounds like a bag of
Yeah, it
pork
sounds like
rinds or something. It's McCorkle
It-
pork
yeah, yeah.
rinds.
It sounds like something that
Sounds
I'm
like a
it's on.
casserole dish.
It's like it's on the menu, and you're like, I'm not eating that.
Yeah,
I don't know what
It's like
that is.
pickled pig's
Is that,
feet.
is that a fish?
sauerkraut.
A McCorkle?
But, yeah, no.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah, man. My Bears friends, they were very excited about Justin Fields. Very, very excited. Young QBs breed hope. I think.
Coming out of high school, he was the number 2 guy, number 2 prospect coming out of high school behind Trevor Lawrence. So
and
you've
the
got that.
Giants, for me, who they took Kadarius Toney over Rashad
Oof.
Bateman.
Have you guys seen? So they do like it's a
We're
thing
gonna
called
break out.
reception perception, and they
Okay.
they show you every single route that a wide receiver can run, and then they show you that person's success rate running specific routes. Kadarius Toney has a below average success rate in every single route except for the go route. That's it. And even that one, he's only at a 69th percentile, so he's slightly above average on that. Everything else, he's below average. Every single route, Kadarius Toney.
he's not the pick. I was surprised.
With Rashad Bateman still on the board,
Yeah,
too.
we were right away making bad, reckless speculation about how he was definitely going to be.
Shot and shooting himself in his own
Yeah,
leg.
something big.
He's going to plaxico burst himself?
Yes.
Yes, he's gonna definitely do something. There's gonna be some type of like East Coast West Coast rap war or something. Like immediately we were like, wait a minute, that.
And that comes from, that's truth, though. He has history with getting involved with the wrong people and almost being arrested for carrying machine guns in his rental car. And it's like, come on, man. And now you send him to New York City.
Yep.
Next question mark for me, we already brought up Leatherwood. Washington reaching on Jamin Davis, another second round talent. Why are you Jamin Davis when Jeremiah Owusu-Karamoah is still out there? And I know maybe there was some sort of medical concern all of a sudden that I hadn't heard about prior to the draft.
Yeah, I knew he had
There
been
was
rising
a ton
up
of different
boards.
guys.
But yeah, it did seem like that might have been a little bit early there considering who was still on the board.
I did not like the Travis Etienne
That
take
one,
by
that one was
Jacksonville.
also very shocking and surprising to me. I mean, I guess I understand it. You're going to pair him with his college quarterback, but James Robinson, undrafted free agent steal,
Right.
Yeah.
a revelation for them last season. Great rookie year. I
Why-
suppose maybe a 1-2 punch there. You got thunder and lightning. Could work
Yeah.
out.
It's tough. I mean, you think back to
But Jacksonville had the first pick in the second round. I don't think you needed to take ATN there unless somebody like Miami was going to trade in and snag him, which is always a possibility. But
that was just confusing to me. I thought they needed to go and protect that valuable hippie that they just drafted.
yes.
Yeah.
New Orleans, I thought the Peyton Turner moving into the first round, just out of nowhere playing for Houston, the defensive end. And so many other people available there that I thought have proven themselves against top talent. Obviously, there was receivers available. Terrace Marshall, they need receivers. They need corners or secondary help. Linebacker help, obviously, Jeremiah is still there. Azeez Ojulari is still there. Morwig. Christian Barmore is a beast. I think the fact that Barmore is getting drafted in the second round is beyond me.
I think there's some
watched
character concerns there.
His play in the national title game was insane, you guys. I watched him just
he's a big boy.
Cause havoc. And that O-line from Ohio State is solid.
Yeah.
And he was wrecking White Davis.
There's a lot of good players left on the board. Round 2 starts tonight. Very interesting to see where some of these guys.
I think
slide
Jacksonville.
off.
I had to change some stuff up. I know we talked about this earlier, and I made a mistake. I think Jacksonville jumps on Tevin Jenkins at 33.
Right tackle.
And then I got the Jets switching gears and taking Javonte Williams.
Which would make me sad.
I then have Atlanta taking Azeez Ojulari. Stays in the GA. Miami then grabs a tackle in Samuel Cosmi.
I don't know if Cosmi's the type of player that they would like. I don't think he has the right size.
There's a lot of stuff that could be a Liam Eichenberg or a Jalen Mayfield or even a Dylan Redunz.
I could see Radins being a pick there. I could see a center being a pick there. Creed Humphrey or Landon Dickerson. Yep. I could see Morrig if he's available. Safety.
Yeah. He would be available. I think
I have my heart set on Javonte Williams. I think you did a lot to help your offense last night, taking Jalen Waddle. Miami did. I think you did a lot to help your defense, taking Jalen Phillips. And if he stays healthy, if he didn't have these health concerns, Jalen Phillips was a consensus top 5 pick in this draft as the best pass rusher in the draft. Obviously, concussions and some other injuries played a part in him slipping to 18. So I don't fault the Dolphins for taking Phillips over a Najee Harris who went to Pittsburgh at 24. But I think you have to have a plan in place to get your running back and get him early. Of the big 3, Javonte Williams is the only one left. Makes me wonder if maybe they fell in love with one of those running backs they coached at the Senior Bowl. Maybe we see a Kenneth Gainwell or a Michael Carter or somebody like that go to Miami either with a late second-round pick or a third-round pick. Who knows?
Well, let's take a look at it, dissect it some more, just one more time like everyone else has, and then we can speculate in the second round when we come back here at ESPN 1170 AM. Don't hassle us for local. There were some surprises, and we're going to talk about it. You guys can give your grades if you'd like. Everyone else likes to give their grades out, so I don't know why. I mean, of course I want to hear your guys' thoughts on it. So let's do it. It's 12:22 past the hour here. Last day in April, Friday, April 30th, ESPN 1170 AM.
Quad City, stop going to social media asking everybody for suggestions on where you're going to grab some lunch. All you need is your Locals Loves Guide. It has an easy-to-navigate table of contents to help you find what you're looking for, or go online at localsloves.com. You click on Quad Cities, and then you browse favorites. Easy to use, and they're even ranking all the popular places for you. So please try it today. Locals Loves, your guide to the best.
We're streaking. We're going up through the quad to the gymnasium. There's more coming.
Frank, get in the car.
Everybody's doing it.
You like that? You like that?
Give me a hell yeah. I said give me a hell yeah.
Hey, this is Dorf with Dancing with the QC Stars. You're listening to Don't Hassle Us for Local.
If you own a small business, you know how hard it can be to find new customers. Now, Town Square has new tools that can help your business stand out and grow today. Go to GetLocalCustomersNow.com for a free local market competitive analysis that will show you what other businesses in town are doing to find new customers and how you can do it too with Town Square. Plus, be one of the first business owners to sign up with Town Square and receive $500 in free advertising on this radio station. Start growing your business today. Visit GetLocalCustomersNow.com. That's GetLocalCustomersNow.com.
What do you get when you talk to a Dell Technologies advisor? You get someone who understands there's an art to listening.
Sure.
Who's able to hear more than what's being said and can provide tailored small business solutions that make you feel truly heard.
I understand. Let's get started.
For advice on everything from laptops to the cloud and solutions powered by Intel vPro platform, call an advisor today at 877-ASK-DELL.
Hey, Quad Cities, who's ready to spring into action and get a good deal on the used car? Arrowhead Ranch in Coal Valley is excited to announce their auto auction will be held on Arrowhead's campus May 15th. Get yourself a car, truck, or SUV and do a good deed at the same time. The auction helps youth at risk right in the QCA with the aim of providing scholarships for students in need. Call 309-799-7044 or go to arrowheadyouth.org for registration details. Arrowhead Ranch Annual Auto Auction, May 15th.
Davenport and Moline, get ready. 20 ribeyes for $35. Fishers of Men Foods is bringing you a meat sale you don't want to miss. At North Park Mall Davenport behind Firestone and South Park Mall Moline behind Olive Garden. Just look for the big truck in tent. It's a gigantic steak, seafood, chicken, and pork meat blowout sale happening now for a limited time. You'll also find mega ribeye porterhouse, T-bone jumbo shrimp, fillets, lobsters, pork ribs, pork chops, even top quality chicken breast. And of course, 20 ribeyes for $35. It's all happening in North Park Mall Davenport behind Firestone and South Park Mall Moline behind Olive Garden. Hurry and fill your freezer with quality meat, pork, seafood, and chicken just in time for grilling season. This sale won't last long, and while you're there, ask about their whole cow and half cow specials. It's this year's gigantic meat sale, only happening in North Park Mall behind Firestone and South Park Mall behind Olive Garden. 20 ribeyes for $35. Cash, credit, or debit card. See you today.
With preterm birth and maternal death rates at unacceptable levels, the U.S. remains among the most dangerous developed nations for childbirth, especially for women and babies of color. Join March for Babies, a mother of a movement to unite, connect, and fight for all families. Join us May 15th to lift up communities, create connections, and take action to make America a more equitable place and ensure that every mom and baby is healthy. Sign up at marchforbabies.org and let's fight for the health of all moms and babies together.
I'm MJ Acosta Ruiz with the NFL Network now on the Westwood One Radio Network. The first round of the 2021 NFL Draft is complete. Quarterbacks went 1, 2, 3 for only the third time in the common draft era. Clemson's Trevor Lawrence to the Jaguars, BYU's Zach Wilson to the Jets, and the 49ers surprise selection Trey Lance from North Dakota State. A record 7 straight offensive players were taken before the Panthers made South Carolina DB J.C. Horn the first defender off the board. The Bears traded up to select Ohio State quarterback Justin Fields at 11, and the Patriots made Alabama's Mac Jones the 5th QB selected in the first round at 15. Najee Harris, the lone running back who was drafted by the Steelers 25th overall, and the Super Bowl champion Buccaneers closed out a late run on edge rushers with Washington's Joe Tryon. Rounds 2 and 3 of the NFL Draft continue Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern. This has been NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network.
DQ presents. Picture this. Picture the new DQ Summer Blizzard treat menu with iconic flavors that taste like instant summer. You order the one and only Drumstick Blizzard with peanuts. Oh, wow. Crunchy waffle cone pieces, world-famous DQ soft serve, and Blue Sky Bliss. Or maybe you get the Brownie Batter Blizzard. Ooh-wee. Fudgy brownie goodness. You're feeling breezy and dreamy all over. Moments like these are why the new DQ Summer Blizzard treat menu exists. Get it delivered at DQ.com. DQ. Happy tastes good.
How can I feel as good at the end of the day as I felt at the beginning?
The All-33 Backstrong chair makes it possible.
Well, how about tech that can triple the size of my monitor when I'm on the go?
With the Mobile Pixel Trio, it's possible.
How can my small business make a strong impression?
It's possible with the iPostal One virtual mailbox. Welcome to Staples Connect, a new world of possible with innovative tools for small business and remote workers. Explore what's new at your local Staples store or at staplesconnect.com. Staples Connect, the working and learning store.
Your sports leader is new and different every day. Download the ESPN 1170 app today.
Hello, we're back.
I just don't know. Anyway, yeah, we are back. The draft is the biggest thing going on right now. We all know that. And it was a interesting night. I look like somewhat like as we make it to 4, 5, and 6. I'm driving back from a softball diamond. My daughter's in the car. I'm like, it's gonna be Kyle Pitts. How do you know? I look like, like oh, they're gonna go Jalen Waddle. How do you know this, that, man? I'm like, I'm busy talking about this nonsense all the time.
That's what I do.
Yeah, but it's not like I mean, I was just lucky, whatever. But I was dropping off. I was getting everything. My son had soccer practice. We were coming back from a softball game. We were just watching. We weren't playing, and I didn't know about the trade. The Bears did. I didn't know about it till I finally got on the way to Oscars, and because my brother's texting me, you're texting me, are you happy or whatever else, so I have to like play catch up.
Right.
And then I'm like, and I don't know. I don't know why my reaction what it is. I know what the reaction was when they traded up to get Mitchell Trubisky, and I wanted to go the contrarian route with Trubisky, and I tried to put stock into him, and I was way wrong.
So the theme here is if Jay's into something, it's wrong.
It usually is, to be honest.
He screwed
with you.
me last year in Dallas, so he's big in Gardner Minshew. So that means Gardner's garbage.
Whatever Jay thinks, it's the opposite.
That's actually not a bad take.
I like giving him a hard time. No, but I got a great question from Erickson.
Okay.
NFC North.
Yeah.
If Rodgers leaves,
Mhm.
the starting quarterbacks in the NFC North would be Jordan Love,
Mhm.
Kirk Cousins,
Yep.
Jared Goff,
Yep.
and let's just say Justin Fields. Cause
It's not. It's Dalton. The Bears have said that that's...
Okay, the Bears say a lot of things.
Yeah.
Okay.
It'll be Justin Fields at some point soon.
Who's the best starter of those four?
Probably
Okay.
Kirk Cousins, in my
I
opinion.
think it's Goff, but it's very close on all of them right now. There's not enough, obviously, footage on Love at all for me, and still Fields hasn't played a snap in the NFL, so it's hard for me to say that he's going to come in and be a better
Is that
quarterback.
like one of those questions like who's the prettiest girl in the trailer park type situation?
Kinda. One with the least amount of teeth.
If you're listening from a trailer park, we don't mean
Totally
to offend you.
apologize. And if you don't have teeth,
Hit us up on QC Hassel
It's
on
got
Twitter.
to be Goff, and then Cousins. I don't know enough about...
the other two are the tie. That's what I said.
Yeah, I don't even know, like... I couldn't even tell you enough about Jordan Love to be like, well, here's the intangibles that he brings to the table.
Some were saying Mahomes-esque coming into the draft last year.
The same thing about Kellen Mond and whatnot. But who's got the baseball background? Was it Fields? Did he play both?
No, I think Love did.
No. I'm saying this one in this year's draft, because I mean, if I can tell you about, what's his name again? Macklemore? McCorkle, and he's got the tennis background. Someone's got a baseball background, kind of like Kyler Murray. Out of these guys, I don't know if it's Mond or if it's Davis Mills or somebody, but
I just saw that the other day too.
So Trevor Lawrence is the number 1 overall. We're fine with that.
Sure, no issues there.
Zach Wilson goes to New York. I think the media is going to chew him up, spit him out, and I think the New York Jets are going to do the same. I think it's like a 2-on-1 handicap match in wrestling.
Did you see the little video they had on the internet this morning where they lined up a bunch of the first round draft picks in a row, and they were taking pictures, and like Wilson's right in between Jamar Chase, and then I think it might have been Alway or something.
Mhm.
And like when they're taking pictures, like Jamar Chase is like flashing like hand signs and all this stuff, and so is the other dude. And Wilson just kind of like looks at him and then starts looking around. Like somebody said, as soon as these guys start flashing gang signs, Wilson is looking for the National Guard.
I don't know what I'm supposed to do with my hands right
You're
now.
not in Utah anymore,
Yeah.
kid. I laugh so hard.
Okay, so then at 3 is where it all starts. And I know we talked about it before the break, but let's just go from there. We said 3 was going to start. It was going to make this draft. The Trey Lance.
Yeah.
Why did you like Trey Lance so much, T-Roy?
Big body, big arm, mobile.
Yep.
And he hit all the check buttons for what you want in a quarterback.
Some people said he was the smartest quarterback going into the draft.
I like
most intelligent. That seems to do well with the Shanahan offense.
I like his attitude. I like the fact that he was a 3-star and he built himself up. He's a worker, and the fact where he came from, North Dakota State. It's a good coaching tree. Everything.
But that's the same thing. They talked about the North Dakota State coaches talked about how great he was with the offense and being able to understand the playbook and everything. But we have already kind of like poo-pooed BYU talking about Zach Wilson saying how good he is when we're like, they're not going to say a bad thing about him because they're going to try to recruit the next quarterback to be like, look what we can do here in North Dakota State.
No, that's fine.
I think Trey Lance went to a perfect situation for him because he's got a great defense, he's got great playmakers, great coach, great system, and he doesn't have to play right away. You still have Jimmy Garoppolo, and clearly New England won't be trading for Garoppolo anymore. They got themselves a McCorkle, so they're good there.
Jimmy G is looking at the end of his career.
He can sit for an entire year or more, learn the system, and be ready to rock and roll the following year. We'll see how that pans out. But
Jimmy G gets broken again. He comes in, he plays, and he rocks and rolls.
Yeah,
where's Jimmy G gonna end up?
He's
got a no trade clause.
Who knows at this point? It's always these QBs, man. This QB carousel every year. It's just there's always new teams that you don't even predict. Like, oh, now this team needs a quarterback. What's going on here? I don't know.
Let's just go down the list. Who has a quarterback that they would rather have Jimmy G over? Follow me here.
Okay.
Jacksonville.
No.
Jets.
No.
Miami.
No.
Atlanta.
No.
Cincinnati.
No.
Hold on, slow down. Matt Ryan, Jimmy G.
Matt Ryan for right now, at least. Yeah.
Okay.
Philly.
Over Jalen Hurts, Jimmy G or Jalen Hurts. I guess that's probably the first one where you think
maybe
relative. I think you lean Jalen Hurts just because of the upside, and he's young, and he's very mobile and whatnot. So you want to see what you have there.
Detroit
over Goff.
No.
Maybe that's probably a close comparison as well, but yeah, you'd probably go Goff there.
Carolina
over Sam Darnold.
No,
probably not.
Yeah,
no,
they extended him.
Denver, you can see if they don't get Rodgers. Drew Lock's probably not the guy. Teddy Bridgewater's not the guy.
He's better than Bridgewater. So there's the first one. Denver.
But are you going to make another trade for a quarterback?
That's what I'm saying. So Denver would be the only other place. Okay. Dallas, no. New York, they love Danny Dimes.
Yeah, this might be his last year there. So it'll all depend on how he does this year. Maybe they could do something for Garoppolo. So I'd give that one a maybe at the very least.
Chargers, no. Minnesota,
probably not.
Obviously not New England, not Arizona.
No.
Probably not Vegas.
No.
Washington?
Yeah, okay. You got Fitzpatrick there. He's older.
Yeah.
So maybe Washington.
Chicago, no, they got Fields now.
Yep. Indy's got Wentz.
Indy's happy
so
with
they're
Wentz.
out. Tennessee's got Tannehill.
Pittsburgh.
So yeah, you could see Pittsburgh with Big Ben being on the way out here. They did just sign Mason Rudolph to a contract extension today.
Yeah.
So it looks like they're at least going to give him a shot next season to see if he's learned anything. I'm pretty sure they already went through the Mason Rudolph experience and it did not go well. So I'm not sure what they're thinking there. So maybe that one's a maybe, possibly.
Cleveland, no. Baltimore, no. New Orleans,
probably not. I mean, you got two serviceable guys there. I don't know. I like when teams do the weird stuff with the quarterbacks like Taysom Hill and Tebow. I want to see Taysom Hill run that offense for a full season.
Yeah, Green Bay. Even if they don't keep Rodgers, it's a no for me. They want Love.
They want to see what Love's doing.
They have to.
And Buffalo is obviously a no.
No.
Tampa Bay. He's not going to go play behind Tom Brady.
No,
again. That's impossible.
And gosh, Tom
They're
Brady's
not going to again. I don't think they have. I mean, I don't know, but I feel like it's not that good of a relationship.
Brady's going to play for another 4 years.
Houston.
There you go. That might be one.
There's one.
And Caserio
And
from
I would
New
say
England.
no to Seattle and no to the
Caserio
Rams.
helped draft Jimmy Garoppolo, actually, so that might be one right there, depending on how this Watson stuff shakes out. No pun intended.
So there you go, Houston, possibly.
So what we got? Maybe like 2 yeses and 3 possiblies.
If that, the possibilities are very shaky.
Yeah, I think you're right from the beginning. Jimmy G's career looks like it's looking bleak.
Well, he's made his money, and now he can just chill on the bench and be a backup for the next 8 years and ride off into the sunset as a rich SOB. With
exactly
all them,
what he said.
And and you know what? There's no ring on his finger. He's been hanging out with whoever he wants to hang out with. Good for him.
Did Jimmy G really think he's going to have a ring on his finger like where he was when he started his college career? I don't think so.
Living the life.
We like Kyle Pitts at 4.
Yeah, you? Come on, man.
Yeah, we like Kyle Pitts at 4. That's a good pick.
Yep. I would have taken the quarterback personally just because, you're all in right now. You are all in right now. Does Kyle Pitts win you a Super Bowl? Is he enough to transform Atlanta from a team that was bad enough that they're drafting number 4 overall? Is he enough to now put you in Super Bowl contention? One player at tight end, which is
no.
historically the hardest position to acclimate to as a rookie.
Got a phone call.
Whoa, uh-oh.
You ready?
Yep. Thanks for calling in. Who do we got on the line?
It's Easer A's.
Yeah!
Hey.
The football team.
Well, how did you like your football team's pick?
I have no idea. I don't know who that guy is. I was calling in because I hate the Kyle Pitts pick for Atlanta.
Okay.
Tell us.
Stand it.
Tell us about it.
What did Atlanta do in the Super Bowl? What they do?
They
blew up a
28-3 lead.
25-point lead.
Yeah. What'd they do last year in the regular season?
About nothing.
They blew up like a 24-point lead to Dallas. They blew up like a blank lead to the Bears.
Yeah, they did that like 3 times last season.
Yeah. So drafting another weapon, another position player in the first round after they already have Julio Jones, they already have Calvin Ridley, they had Roddy White before. They
lost their 2 top safeties as well.
All they do is draft offense, and they never win.
Yeah.
I think you're helping me make my point right now. I'm not sure you draft defense that high. I'm not sure there was anyone who warranted a number 4 overall selection on defense, but you could have traded out with a team that wanted to come up and get a quarterback, grab yourself more picks, and then take a defender at 9, 10, 11, 12, somewhere around there. Or, in my opinion, you take your quarterback and you let him sit for a year or two. By all accounts, next year's quarterback class will not be as impressive as this year's. You set yourself up for the future. You've done it. You've tried to do it with Matt Ryan, and it hasn't worked. So you can be all in all you want right now, but you were all in last year, and you ended up with the 4th overall pick. So you might as well grab a quarterback when you can grab a quarterback and move on. Matt Ryan is not a spring chicken.
Yeah. Well, I think go on. Yep.
He's like a fall chicken.
It's the Aaron Rodgers thing. It's the Aaron Rodgers thing. They never do anything to help Aaron Rodgers. Well, all Atlanta has ever done is help Matt Ryan.
Yeah, he's the anti-Aaron Rodgers.
Nothing. Yeah, it's gotten them nothing. I understand, yes, draft a weapon every once in a while, but name a position player drafting in the top 20 that's got a Super Bowl, running back, wide receiver, tight end.
Well,
nothing the next year.
Luckily for Atlanta, there are plenty of stud defensive players left on the board that dropped out of the first round, and they do pick third. They pick third tonight, so maybe they'll snag themselves a defensive player there. But I am with you on this. I think Kyle Pitts is a fantastic player. I did not think he was the right player for Atlanta to select at number 4.
Well, I thought they should have traded out.
I think he's a great player. But he's just, a tight end has never walked into a situation and changed and flipped the team. Like San Francisco built through defensive line. Washington built through defensive line. No one's taken a tight end and gone, that tight end we got in the first round, he really flipped the franchise.
Yeah, if you look back at first-round tight end selections, there's not too many successful ones. That's not saying Kyle Pitts can't be that, but Kyle Pitts is not going to help, again, and they're all in right now, all in this year. Kyle Pitts is not going to help Atlanta do anything of importance this year except maybe win a couple extra games, and then next year you're not picking 4th, next year you're picking 12th, and you don't even have your pick of the litter at quarterback.
Exactly. That's all I had. The boss man tweeted out last night, apparently all these teams in the top 10 are okay with their defenses. I realize it's a offensive league, but how did Tampa win? That defense shut down Pat Mahomes.
Yeah, that's true, and I think that defense was slept on too.
Yeah, and if you look at their draft, I contradict myself with my name of wide receiver because Mike Evans was a first round pick. But if you look at their drafts in the last few years, they got tackle to protect their quarterback.
I'm not sure
Devin
you can
White,
use
inside linebacker.
I'm not sure you can use Tampa as an example or a blueprint for most teams, because most teams don't get to acquire a Hall of Fame 6-time Super Bowl champion at the time. Right. He has 7 now, right?
Who then attracts
who then brings
a lot of other talent.
all his Hall of Fame buddies to the team. It's like that's a hard blueprint to follow.
You can use them as the foundation, though. Look at their foundation. Devin White, they drafted.
Yeah, that's a big one.
The kid from Nebraska, they drafted. Tristan Wirfs, they drafted. They got the best tackle, who was the 4th tackle last year, taken. Troy brings that up all the time. Why? What was New York doing taking that Becton kid?
Wasn't even that New York. It was the Giants taking Andrew Thomas. Andrew Thomas hasn't panned out. Wirfs was hands down the best talent on that offensive line. I couldn't understand why the people didn't see it.
Like Seattle. Seattle, what'd Seattle do? Drafted defense. Got their quarterback in the 3rd round that took them to the promised land. Kansas City is almost the exception to the rule, and I think everybody's chasing the exception instead of looking at what everybody else did. You can't chase the exception. You need to chase what everyone. You need to chase the rule.
You were right, Israel. You were right. There's been plenty of times going into this that everyone's looking for the next Patrick Mahomes. We even brought it up early in the show in the first segment that they are looking for the Patrick Mahomes. You're right that people are out there doing it. Now the question is there somebody out there? Is Kellen Mond going to be that? Is Kyle Trask going to be there? Is Davis Mills going to be that? What is the 2nd, 3rd round quarterback? Who's going to be the one that they follow the rule, like you said, and they find someone who's going to be that guy?
I think, and as someone I obviously watch college football a lot more than I pay attention to the NFL. I just NFL, it's like playoffs. I turn that on. So that's when I see these guys. So I think that Trask could be that guy, just because of how he built himself. 2 years ago, one of the podcasts I listened to, they called him Calm Throw Kyle Trask, because he didn't really look like he threw the ball that hard. He looked relaxed in the pocket, almost too relaxed.
Okay.
This year, he used those 2 guys, and he hit them in stride all the time. He was always finding them too. And Merrick already talked about what Tony's route running is like. Kyle Trask hit Tony in stride all the time, so he's obviously very
he's not wrong,
accurate, and he can find the guy off of his first read.
Hey, if our guy User A's is saying it, Emily's saying it, and we liked him at 52, he might be the guy.
Who's taking him?
Not the Bears anymore.
I do love the Bears pick. I love the Bears pick, by
the
way. That Justin Fields was, and I said this on Twitter last night. When Trey Lance, I get it, you guys like him, but when they're showing Trey Lance, he's burning South Dakota State and Northern Iowa.
Yeah,
Justin
I
Fields.
agree.
It was just Justin Fields. It was an entire montage of him just burning Clemson. Nothing but athletes. He was just crushing athletes over and over and over again. That's the way I like him.
You got me. I've said good things about Justin Fields. I thought he should have been the 3rd overall, but then again, when he's slipping, there's got to be something. But I just don't know. I just didn't see the fit. Maybe I was stuck in my own Minshew mania. Maybe I was stuck in the Kyle Trask. I don't know. I just know.
Well, Gardner Minshew
I'm going back to last week when the Punky QB says Chicago is where quarterbacks go to die, and that bothers me. So
Punky QB.
Don't you say a foul thing about the Punky QB.
He was the product of a very good defense. He was a mediocre quarterback at best.
Troy Aikman's a mediocre quarterback.
No, he's not.
Easy.
Yeah, settle down, Foster. Now you're just trying to poke the bear.
I mean, McMahon, 85. Those Bears beat everyone except for
Miami Dolphins.
The Miami Dolphins. I was not alive. I literally did not exist when that game happened. But I'll still brag about it. I will.
That defense carried that team. We all know it. Walter Payton. McMahon.
There's a reason why they carried the D coordinator off the field after the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I mean, McMahon is what's his face who won one for the
Dilfer?
Yeah, he's Dilfer.
for the Ravens. There you go. All right, Israelis. Well, thanks for calling in.
Yes. One last thing.
Sure.
One last thing. Troy's team killed it. Makes me so mad.
Yeah, but, okay, we'll get to that. We'll get down to the grades.
Number one, they make a deal with their nemesis, their rivals.
It's surprising.
Like Oh, like seriously, was Satan not available for the Eagles to call? They had to call Jerry Jones.
I said it to Merrick before the show. He's not to interrupt you, but the deal was they knew if they didn't make that deal, Devontae Smith was going to New York. So it's either they're facing him twice in New York or twice in Philly, and if they haven't faced twice in Philly, at least they're getting an extra pick out of it. I thought it was great.
Yep. Oh yeah. Oh, it was genius. And then they get probably the best defensive player in the draft that puts his hand, that plays in the front seven.
Well, and Merrick looked it up. He is now the odds favorite to win Defensive Rookie of the Year.
He on Bet Online. Michael Parsons is the favorite to win Defensive Rookie of the Year. Dolphins' new defensive end Jalen Phillips actually has the second best odds.
And I think those two are really good. Yeah.
My buddy shared a tweet from me from when he was being recruited he was at Nebraska, and for fun, Micah Parsons went out and played wide receiver, and was burning 4-star cornerbacks on in a practice, like a Friday night camp.
He's
fast.
He's an athlete.
Nebraska, and he went out as a high school kid and was just roasting 4-star corners, goofing around just for fun. Just like, hey, look what I can do! I can play wide receiver.
Well, I hope you're right. I had my heart set on Horn or Patrick Surtain, and I really wanted Surtain out of the two. But I was really I was downtrodden when it happened. I just sank in my seat. I was at Oscars. I was like, when they said Patrick Surtain to the Denver Broncos, I'm like, what in the holy F? And then within 3 minutes, I was like, flying on cloud 9. I'm like, something cool's happening.
Ain't that how it goes?
Yep. So.
Oh, and I do have one more thing.
Sure.
I said this the other day. My dog's a cornerback because he can catch sometimes, but not all the time. But he's fast as hell.
I love it. I love that we're still getting into that. Maybe we'll do it later. Thanks, Caesar. I appreciate you, man. Take care.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm surprised the Packers didn't draft his dog then.
No kidding. Yeah,
that's shot fired right there. So that's great.
Sorry.
Let's take a break here. It's 12:52, Friday, April 30th, here at the Don't Hassle Us for Local, an ESPN 1170 studios.
Locally owned since 1934, Tri-City Equipment has been your source for restaurant equipment and value ever since. If you're looking to cater an event or you need something for your home chef, check them out online at tricityequipment.com, or please stop down to 527 West 4th Street in Davenport and look at their newly remodeled 2,400 square foot showroom. Remember, they deliver to all of you Quad City residents and match online pricing, so no need to shop anywhere else. Give them a call today, 563-322-5382. Showroom hours 8 to 5, Monday through Friday. That's Tri-City Equipment, 527 West 4th Street in Davenport.
Give me a hell yeah! I said give me a hell yeah!
You like that? You like that?
This is Ella Schmidt, the 106-pounder for Bettendorf, and you are listening to Don't Hassle Us, We're Local.
PointsBet understands that in sports, it pays to be fast. Download the PointsBet app now and use code Iowa2K to get 2 risk-free bets up to $2,000. Whether you're a bettor or a baller, a sharp or a sharpshooter, if you're making money or just playing money, sports is speed. Luckily, your sports book can keep up. When you bet with PointsBet, you get faster bets, faster withdrawals, and faster rewards at your fingertips. Plus, right now, PointsBet is giving customers the best odds on all pro sports. That's better odds and bigger payouts on our lightning fast app, because PointsBet knows every second matters. Time is money, and it pays to be fast. PointsBet has the best odds on all pro sports, so download the app now and use code Iowa2K to get 2 risk-free bets up to $2,000. See for yourself why bettors are calling PointsBet innovative, lightning quick, and the reason they have ditched the other books. Download the app now to experience Iowa's premium sports book for yourself. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-BETS-OFF.
If you own a small business, you know how hard it can be to find new customers. Now, Town Square has new tools that can help your business stand out and grow today. Go to GetLocalCustomersNow.com for a free local market competitive analysis that will show you what other businesses in town are doing to find new customers and how you can do it too with Town Square. Plus, be one of the first business owners customers to sign up with Town Square and receive $500 in free advertising on this radio station. Start growing your business today. Visit GetLocalCustomersNow.com. That's GetLocalCustomersNow.com.
Looking for a job with a stable company where hard work and good attitudes are rewarded with advancement opportunities? XPAC in Milan, Illinois, the Quad Cities' leading logistics provider, has immediate openings on the first and second shifts. Start your career and enjoy attendance incentives, great benefits, and teamwork that makes a difference. Make XPAC your new work family. Apply online at xpac.com. That's XPAC.com. XPAC is an equal opportunity employer.
So you say you're in the market for a truck or sedan. Maybe your family needs a minivan. Perhaps you just want a little coupe. Well, you can find them all at Weber Auto Group. WeberAutoGroup.com.
Visit Weber Auto Group's brand new showroom in Silvis. They have vehicles based on what you want or need this spring savings season. With over 260 vehicles in stock, ride off in the car of your dreams.
WeberAutoGroup.com. Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Time for an oil change? We've got a great deal that can help you get it done. Right now, you can get 5 quarts of Pennzoil Platinum, full synthetic motor oil, and an STP extended life oil filter for just $31.99. And you can get it all fast, your way. Just order online with our free same-day store pickup or next-day delivery. Getting your job done just got easier. Restrictions apply.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
I'm MJ Acosta-Ruiz with the NFL Network now on the Westwood One Radio Network. The first round of the 2021 NFL Draft is complete. Quarterbacks went 1, 2, 3 for only the third time in the common draft era. Clemson's Trevor Lawrence to the Jaguars, BYU's Zach Wilson to the Jets, and the 49ers surprise selection Trey Lance from North Dakota State. A record 7 straight offensive players were taken before the Panthers made South Carolina DB J.C. Horn the first defender off the board. The Bears traded up to select Ohio State quarterback Justin Fields at 11, and the Patriots made Alabama's Mac Jones the 5th QB selected in the first round at 15. Najee Harris, the lone running back who was drafted by the Steelers 25th overall, and the Super Bowl champion Buccaneers closed out a late run on edge rushers with Washington's Joe Tryon. Rounds 2 and 3 of the NFL Draft continue Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern. This has been NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network.
DQ presents. Picture this. Picture the new DQ Summer Blizzard treat menu with iconic flavors that taste like instant summer. You order the one and only drumstick blizzard with peanuts. Oh, wow. Crunchy waffle cone pieces, world-famous DQ soft serve, and blue sky bliss. Or maybe you get the brownie batter blizzard. Ooh, wee. Fudgy brownie goodness. You're feeling breezy and dreamy all over. Moments like these are why the new DQ Summer Blizzard treat menu exists. Get it delivered at DQ.com. DQ. Happy tastes good.
How can I feel as good at the end of the day as I felt at the beginning?
The All-33 Backstrong chair makes it possible.
Well, how about tech that can triple the size of my monitor when I'm on the go?
With the Mobile Pixel Trio, it's possible.
How can my small business make a strong impression?
It's possible with the iPostal One virtual mailbox. Welcome to Staples Connect, a new world of possible with innovative tools for small business and remote workers. Explore what's new at your local Staples store or at staplesconnect.com. Staples Connect, the working and learning store.
Open our app to listen live, win stuff, and to sign up for breaking news alerts. Never miss a thing on the Quad Cities sports leader, ESPN 1170.
All right, everybody, we are back, man. We are so knee deep in this draft. This is fun, boys. I'm telling you.
All right, all right, where are we at here with when's it start at 7 o'clock? The second round now.
6 o'clock. 6 o'clock tonight.
And what are we excited about? Give me. Well, let's get to it in a second. Let's go back to the rest of the picks, okay? We just talked to Easer A's. Thanks for calling in. If you guys want to call in and weigh in, feel free. It's at 391-3776, 563-391-3776. Tell us what you liked about your team. Tell us what you didn't like about your team's draft.
We got through pick 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, we were kind of going, I was...
I didn't like the Bengals pick at 5.
Loved it.
I did. I understand the pick, but I think when you have Joe Burrow, especially coming off of an ACL tear, you have a special quarterback, right? Everybody loves Joe Burrow. He was the number 1 overall drafted guy last year. You have to build a wall. You have to protect him. And I'm sorry, but I don't buy the Riley Reif is the answer. If Riley Reif was the answer, then the Vikings would have kept Riley Reif and not drafted Christian Darrisaw.
I'm telling you, I love Joe Cool.
I think he was a free agent, wasn't he? And I think it was just the age.
Listen,
but here's my deal.
Hold on. I like Joe Burrow. It's cool. The Cincinnati Bengals did exactly what they shouldn't have done. Yeah. And they listened to their quarterback instead of protect him. That's why I think I love the pick where I'm like, oh, the Bengals are back. Look at this.
But here, I would point out one thing. You got the Bengals now, quarterback teamed up with college teammate.
Yeah.
Miami.
Your Dolphins teamed up, college teammates.
Eagles
teamed up, college teammates.
Cares.
And
Jacksonville.
Teamed up. You don't care, but I think it's cool.
I think it's cool too. But if I were the Bengals, I would have taken Sewell. I think you got to protect Burrow. This is a very, very deep wide receiver draft class. And people will say the same thing about tackles, but I think there's a steeper drop-off between the top 2 tackles and the rest and the top 3 wide receivers and the rest.
I find it hard to believe that Trevor Lawrence and Etienne are like playing Call of Duty together. Like
you don't think so?
I find it hard to believe that Joe Burrow, and Jamar Chase are like, hey, let's go.
Did you hear Jamar Chase's quote?
Let's go bowling together.
Oh, I love Jamar Chase's personality. I think he's
cool
as hell.
Already? What? He goes, I'm gonna break every record they have. I don't know how I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, we got a phone call,
but I'm gonna do it.
You ready?
Yep.
We made it to pick 5.
You're all right. Thanks for calling in. Who do we have on the line?
You got old Mexico, boys.
All right.
Hey, I tell you what, I haven't seen so much excitement since I saw the McDonald's brought the McRib back. I was excited as heck, boys.
I do like a
I'm
McRib.
I'm also telling you what, boys, that Urban Meyer, I think he's trying to be more like Debo. I think he's like sitting there going, hey, how can I be like Clemson? How many more Clemson guys can I get? I just don't think he's
So Amari Rodgers round 2, book it, right?
Yeah.
You book it. You better pull your head out of the gutter, dude, because you ain't no Dabo. So it didn't work at Ohio State. It ain't going to work in Jacksonville.
Is this Dabo calling, actually? You kind of sound like Dabo.
It's around Mexico.
Possibly. Anyways, what's this deal with all these college people going together? I hear you guys yapping about that. Are these guys like chicks at a bathroom? They got to all go together?
Well, yeah, you know young kids. You know young kids these days. They can't do anything by themselves. They need all their buddies by their side.
I tell you what, I can't stand it. This is getting ridiculous. Why don't you grow a pair and go out on your own? Mommy, Daddy ain't going to hold your hand for life.
They got to tag each other in TikTok videos.
Well, Trevor Lawrence is clearly mommy with the hair.
Yeah.
AT's daddy.
Okay, boys, one last thing here is that I haven't seen a good-looking quarterback like that since old Jay in his high school career. I tell you, he's got it all. Sometimes I sit around and go like, how can I be more like Jay? But then I wake up and realize I'll never happen because I ain't that good looking.
This is how I know you're lying, because Jake cannot see over the offensive line.
That's really true. We talked about this last night. It's funny that you mentioned that. We were talking about, what was it, tall and athletic, and I was like, 2 words never used to describe me. They were doing a pick around Mexico. They were talking about it, and the first thing, because like they give 2 good things about it, and they give you 1 criticism when the picks were coming up. And I think it was like tall and athletic, and I'm like, well, 2 words never used to describe me, and that's why I know I was never going to be an NFL draft pick.
And I'm telling you right now, Trey Lance is the reason why Atlanta picked who they did, that worthless tight end pick. He's the reason why Atlanta picked him, because I think Atlanta was waiting and thought he would come down to them, but it didn't come down to him, and they just weren't confident enough in Fields. So the Bears did what I thought they'd do. They'd move up, and they grabbed him. I'm glad they didn't grab that guy from Alabama, because you already know that he was in a backpacker of Belichick. So God bless, fellas. Have a good rest of the afternoon. It's Friday.
Yes, here. I'm excited. It's Friday, last day of April. Thanks for the call.
Did you guys see like McCorkle's little walk as he was going through the?
Yeah, I did.
He looked like Vince McMahon coming down the ramp.
He knew it was coming. Everyone knew it was coming. My brother's a Patriots fan. I was cursing him. I was texting him ahead of time as I'm driving out to Oscars. And it was things you shouldn't say in the air. But the Patriots don't have to do anything. F this. Can't stand them. They don't have to move anywhere. They don't have to give up any draft capital to get what they want. And I was beside myself.
I got 6 of the first 15, right?
All right. So we get through Cincinnati at 5. I think they should have taken Swell. Chase is a fine pick too, but you better hope you can protect your quarterback.
He says he can break every record. Is he breaking the Bengals records, or is he breaking?
That's what he says.
Okay.
So essentially, AJ Green's records.
Cool.
There are plenty of tackles left at 38.
Or
when they
Chris
pick
Collinsworth's. I don't
Cool.
know. Like, whose records? Miami at 6.
Joe Cinco's records.
I was very happy with the Jalen Waddle selection. I know a lot of people thought maybe Devontae Smith here. I think Miami's looking for immediate impact. What do they need? They need a slot guy. Jalen Waddle was the most productive slot receiver when healthy. And actually, last year, everyone's all caught up on Devontae Smith winning the Heisman Trophy last year. Before Jalen Waddle got injured, he was on pace to have a better season than Devontae Smith was having. He was actually better than Devontae Smith during the games they both played when Waddle was healthy. So, he's extremely fast. He creates yards after the catch. He excels at nearly every route. Again, compare him to Kadarius Toney's reception perception route, and it's night and day. He excels at every route except for one, which would be the out route. But they'll have him running slants and crossers while they send Will Fuller deep. Devontae Parker running the comeback route. Gesicki up the seam. Who are you putting on who? That offense just, with those two additions of Will Fuller and Jalen Waddle, that offense just got infinitely better. I'm very excited to see where they go. So I do like the Waddle pick.
Did you really need to throw in Gesicki in that?
Dude, Gesicki is...
He's been having a good career.
He's not in the tier, clearly, of the Kelseys and the Kittles and the Wallers, but I think he's in the tier just below that, and I think he had a great season last year, and I think he's primed to do even more. He's one of the best pass-catching tight ends in the league. Not the best blocker.
100%. I'll put him on one of my fantasy teams, and I'll overreach for him.
Yes, probably. But
just from basically what you said right there alone.
I liked the pick at 6. I liked Waddle. And when I bought Madden 20 and got to my first offseason and made a draft, you can upload the college rosters in there. I took Jalen Waddle in the first round a year ago when I got Madden. Sure did.
Well, look at you.
I know. I'm just predicting things left and right.
Yeah,
look at him.
Right
he is
about
Nostradamus.
Yeah, you write about it. You predict it. You even do it on video games. I have no idea why you're not down in Miami working for Flores.
I would love to.
You've got all the gear for it.
Panay, so this actually, I got Kirk Ferentz's kid is a strength coach down there, and he's friends with Steve Manders, my student, and Manders told him that one of his coaches was a big Dolphins fan. So Kirk Ferentz's son actually sent a couple T-shirts and a hat for me, a sweatshirt too, I believe.
He knows all the right
I
people,
know.
dude. Gosh darn it.
No one ever does that stuff for me. I can't even get a sandwich from Meatballs.
It's actually the sweatshirt I'm wearing today is the one he sent me.
You're not getting a sandwich.
He sent me this. He sent me this sweatshirt.
He did.
He did.
What a guy.
True story.
When you were bringing up pick 7.
I have a camo Dolphins hat that says Ferentz on the brim because it was his. They gave it to him. He gave it to me.
Sweet.
Pretty cool, huh? Pick 7.
Yeah.
Detroit. Penei Sewell. Campbell, his introductory press conference, the best introductory press conference of all time, where he said he wanted his players to be the ones that get knocked down, but then on the way up, they bite off somebody's kneecap. You guys remember that one?
Yeah.
That's Penei Sewell. That's what he does. He is a big bully, and I think he fits the personality of Dan Campbell to a T.
I like that pick. I think he's going to be exceptional. And
you've been big on him before the season started, too, right? And I know he sat out in August, but I mean, you were asking about Emily about him before he even had a single snap in college football.
There was the part of me that wanted him to follow Dallas. Actually, I was hoping Dallas had a crappy enough record that they would have got him. Like if they would have just lost 1 or 2 more games, they would have had that pick at 7. But
Number 8, Carolina. This is one that broke your heart, T-Roy.
Yeah, I mean, I thought, wow, for them to think Horn was better than Surtain wasn't too much of a stretch, but to me, I did look at a lot of J.C. Horn's numbers against the elite. His numbers against Waddle, his numbers against Pitts and
Smith
and Chase and all that, and he performed well against all these guys. So a little shocking. I didn't think that's where they were going to go. But as I look back on my notes, cornerback was a position that checked all the boxes for them. So that point, I'm thinking I got this.
Yeah.
I'm thinking for sure Fields is going to Denver and Surtain's coming to Dallas, and then boom.
And then Surtain gets taken. at pick 9, goes to Denver. And then
Again-
then you're crying at this point.
Well, but again, if you're everything you're saying about Horn, you can say the same thing about Surtain. We said that these guys are automatic start tomorrow cornerbacks in the NFL.
Right, and they're just shut down, and it's what Dallas needed, and just didn't happen. So, like he's already said, Dallas makes the trade back with Philly. It's a lesser of two evils. They get compensated for having to face Devontae Smith twice.
And then we get our trade, big trade here.
Yeah, so
The Giants move down.
and the Bears
And the
take
Bears
Fields.
move up, and Bears fans rejoice. They're screaming in the streets.
I did text the boss Lavora and say I think they got fleeced again, and then I kind of looked at it because I didn't quite catch it all as it came across. I don't think they got fleeced. I think it was fine.
Also, they don't care about first-round picks. They sent a couple for Khalil Mack. Now they sent a couple for Justin Fields. They don't care. We don't need them.
I'm the only thing I have is when they make that trade is the history of the Bears and Ted Phillips and the blunders that he has made trading to make decisions when it comes to the draft. That's all. The history is not on the side of
And
it.
then
It's just not.
Justin Fields tweeted out that he's going to break all of Jay Cutler's records.
He's going to smoke more heaters.
I hope it's smoking Justin. If Justin Fields can be Jay Cutler, then there's another one that's on my fantasy team. I love the garbage time.
Yeah.
Love the garbage time QBs that you can get for about $4 in an auction draft. And the only reason it's 4 is because there's always Mark Van Severen bidding me up.
All right, what's the over-under week that Justin Fields becomes starter for the Chicago
I don't know
Bears?
the bye week. That's it. That's all it is.
That's it. You thinking bye week?
Yep.
The schedule's not out yet. So
If God loves Bear fans, Andy Dalton gets hurt in the preseason and he starts week 1.
I think.
Sorry, I
you
like
know,
Andy Dalton. He's a nice guy.
He'll sit for a few
Yeah.
games, but I guess bye week notwithstanding, I'd probably put the over/under at what 7.5. Week
He's
7.5.
solid. There's 17. Yeah, the 17 weeks in the season. 7.5 sounds about right.
He might win the starting position to start out.
And the thing about Chicago is he doesn't just have Andy Dalton on that roster. He has Nick Foles as well. So maybe if Andy Dalton craps the bed the first couple weeks, then they give Nick Foles a shot. And
Now,
he's always good to pull some magic
I
out
could
of
see
his.
Nick Foles and Andy Dalton playing Call of Duty together.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Like those two just be like, hey, we're not needed. Let's go bowling, that type of thing.
Right.
Let's go to Applebee's together. That type of, all that fun stuff.
He loves Applebee's.
I do not love Applebee's.
So the Irresistibles.
So where do we go? Pick 12. Who's got that one?
That's the Cowboys. And
That's-
Micah
we talked
Parsons.
about
We
that
talk
one.
about it. He's had his points. And then we drop
Chargers.
Yep, to 13.
Rashawn Slater. That was a good get for them there.
And I
that's
got that pick right?
That's a position in need too.
This is where it becomes a little bit more like obvious, right? Like I add the Rashawn. The only thing I liked about the Rashawn Slater is I'm listening to the NFL Network on XM. This is about the time when I'm pulling up to hang out with you, and everybody's like, "I will bet everything that it's Rashawn Slater." And of course, immediately I'm like, "I hope it's not Rashawn Slater. I hope these guys have to eat their words or whatever." And
Right.
it came up, and this is about the time where I finally am now live with you at the draft after this pick.
It was
this is
great
The
pick for
Chargers-
them. A lot of people were saying that he was the top tackle on some teams' boards. So for him to slip almost halfway through the first round, that's a great get for them, and great get for Justin Herbert. And they did the opposite of what Cincinnati did. So we'll
right.
see if it works out for them.
And the talk was Minnesota really wanted Slater, and that's what.
Oh, and you could
that's where the
you could
trade,
see why
yeah,
they would
and that's where
want
the
that,
trade
yeah.
happened next, where they trade down with the Jets, and the Jets come up to take Vera Tucker. Now, my thought was Minnesota, if it was an offensive lineman that you wanted so bad, Vera Tucker was really good.
And Vera Tucker will play guard at the next level. So
Yeah.
so that's a pretty high
But I
selection
thought-
for a guard.
I thought we thought Harris was going to be the stretch here.
Najee.
Yeah,
Going
at this
to the
pick at the Jets. Yeah.
Well, the Jets traded up though.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what I'm saying.
I thought they might have been taking Najee here.
I thought
but-
they traded up for
There-
him.
there was a
Vera
part of me that
Tucker-
was concerned
Vera
about
Tucker
that as well.
Can play tackle. He's nasty.
He
He's one of
can
the
play
nasty
tackle.
ones,
He
yeah.
projects at guard in the NFL. So we'll
Right.
see.
But yeah, I mean, that was a fine pick by the Jets. It solidifies that O line with Becton and whatever.
And
else.
again, they drafted their quarterback early.
Yep.
And then they draft their offensive lineman in the middle. So they also did the opposite of what Burrow and the Bengals have done.
So they didn't do the Jets normal thing. The Bengals were the Bengals. The Jets were not the Jets.
I hope I hope Elijah Vera Tucker is terrible. As a Dolphins fan, I hope he's the worst offensive lineman in the history of the league. But I thought it was a good pick.
Well, at 16 then, or I'm sorry, at 15, Jay's favorite
McCorkle.
Yeah.
Well, Chipper was very happy.
Yeah, he should be.
I'll never call him Mac Jones again. It's just not happening.
McCorkle. You should be. I mean, that was, gosh, it's good for them. I mean, I don't know.
It's a family name. It's a fat girl's name.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know where that comes from. I don't know how they get to pull that off and do those things that just annoy you like the Patriots do, but they didn't have to move at all. They got the quarterback. They got the guy that they actually wanted. Good for them.
What's the Superman thinking? Old Cam right now.
I think Cam's happy he got his $10 million this year, and he'll probably be out of the league next.
Cam, and then they got Jarrett Stidham, and they got another guy, and then they got McCorkle.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I would play Call of Duty with Jarrett Stidham and Gardner Minshew. We'd go to Applebee's too, T-Ray. So I don't know what's going on with Jarrett Stidham, how he has gone from being this kid that was recruited out of high school and was very, very good, and now he's just Taysom Hill's better. Yeah, Taysom Hill's better than him somehow, and I don't know how.
Well, at 16,
Arizona, big surprise. Maybe some
Zayvon
people
Collins.
say a little bit of a reach there, but I really think he's going to be a good player. I really do. He's fast. He's rangy. He can cover tight ends and even slot receivers on these short crossing routes and whatnot. Quick to
their defense is good.
Yeah, I
think you need it in the West, right? The NFC West to stop those offenses. So they've got Zayvon, they've got Watt, they've got who else on the line that went that laid like a sense of him and Watt. The guys are 1 and 2 since Watt got drafted, and this other guy.
Last year, if you think about it too, they took Isaiah Simmons. So they're
loading up on those speedy defensive players.
Their front seven is stacked.
And I had heard Miami was interested in Collins at 18 if he fell there. So,
and then another, we talked about this earlier. Vegas taking Leatherwood.
Yeah, definitely a reach there. Definitely a reach. If he turns out to be a good player, whatever. It's whatever.
I'm just surprised, like you're mentioning though, Merrick, that the problem within Las Vegas where they're not happy with the pick. Like, where is the disconnect? The two.
Yeah, I don't know if basically there was a consensus of who they wanted, and then Mayock went rogue, or what the deal is. I didn't get a chance to dig deep into it on the drive in, but I'm just seeing on the Twitter streets, not from OJ, but from verified sources that this is the actual quote, is heads will roll in Vegas. The owner and John Gruden specifically are not happy with the selection.
Yeah,
so that's got to make Leatherwood feel real good.
Yeah, I'm sure he feels good this morning reading that as he Googles his name.
Well, then at 18,
Jalen Phillips, defensive end, University of Miami. What's funny is he said last week he had just moved, because he's from Los Angeles. He had just moved all of his stuff out of his dorm room in Miami out to L.A., back to his home, and then now he has to move it all back to L.A.
You had him up high for the Vikings.
I had him going to the Vikings when we did our mock draft last week. Again, without injuries, he was projected as a top 5 pick in this draft. He's the most talented pass rusher, can get to the quarterback. His pressure rate, he gets a pressure on a QB once every 6 snaps. That's an elite percentage. It compares very well to what Cameron Wake used to do for the Dolphins when he was their stud defensive end a few years ago before signing with Tennessee. But if he stays healthy, I think he could be the steal of the first round of this draft.
Speaking of Nostradamus over here, and I can't remember who. You remember when we were doing the every other and we did the mock and then we were initiating trades? Somebody initiated the trade from 20 to 11. New York trading with Chicago.
That was Jay, I think.
Very funny. I mean, very interesting.
That's about the only thing I got right. So Zach, Mac, and Josh are in trouble, what you're saying, because of Jalen now from the AFC East for a couple years.
I sure hope so. And that's the thing the Dolphins didn't have. They do run that New England scheme on defense where it's not about pass rush specifically. It's about containing the edge, not letting anyone get around you, putting pressure on the quarterback without having to send blitzes. But the Dolphins did blitz the third most of any team last year. So it's interesting. I think they want to get away with that a little bit more by being able to get to the quarterback with the front four. And Jalen Phillips is going to be able to do that for you right away. And he's a great run defender, too. So he's not just a pass rush specialist. That's hard to say quickly. But I think he's a good player. He's a really good player. And a lot of people think some of those injuries were a little overblown. And the real reason he didn't want to play football anymore when he was at UCLA is because he had a contentious relationship with Chip Kelly, coach of the Bruins.
That seems kind of like consistent with Chip Kelly for some reason.
You'd believe it, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I 100% would believe it, yeah.
19.
The Washington football team takes Jamin Davis.
You didn't like this pick, T-Roy. You were telling me off the air.
This is a huge reach for me. I'm sorry, but he's a linebacker out of Kentucky, and I know that they said he had some good numbers in the SEC. I see all that, but I still think this kid out of Notre Dame was better if that's what you wanted. But I did not see linebacker as one of their needs at all on all of my research. I had safety and offensive tackle as the two top needs. And when you have Trayvon Warwick out there and a Tevin Jenkins, I think you just reached on Jamin Davis, and I think you can get Jamin Davis closer to 51.
Yeah, I had heard he was creeping up boards and could sneak into the back half of the first round. They were more excited, in the 26, 27 range for him, so it's a little bit of a reach. He's a little bit of an undersized guy, right. But he plays today's style. The linebackers aren't the big thumpers that they used to be anymore. He covers the running backs out of the backfield. He's very rangy, gets from sideline to sideline in a hurry. So you can see the upside there, but you're right. It was a risky pick.
Yeah, when I think they have more needs than with that. And then we go to
20, which was the Giants after trading with Chicago. And we've already talked about the Kadarius Toney pick. A lot of red flags with him. We'll see how it pans out. He is a cheat code, though, on offense. He is that Percy Harvin type player, but he comes with a whole lot of baggage.
Percy Harvin type baggage as well.
Exactly. So you put him in New York City, and we'll see how it pans out for him.
They say that the only person that wasn't afraid of Aaron Hernandez at Florida was Percy Harvin. FYI. Okay, 21. The Colts take Kwity Paye.
What a get for them at 21.
Right. I think that's really, they needed more help on defense than anything.
Some people had him going as high as number 11 to the Giants spot when they were originally at 11. So for the Colts to get him at 21, that does seem like a nice steal for them.
And he just looks like a physical beast.
Big boy.
Didn't have quite the production in sacks like you'd wish for.
That's not really his game.
Yeah, but he had a ton of pressures and disruptions and things like that.
And he does play containment really well on the edge there. Right. I do know for a fact Dolphins were in on him. They went with the better pass rusher.
Right.
But, yeah, at 21, that's a great get.
And then Tennessee, I think this is a great get, too. He falls. At first, he was probably the top cornerback in this draft. Caleb Farley out of Virginia.
If he stays healthy, again, that's another steal right there. And that's kind of the theme of the back half of the first round, right? Especially in this year's draft where information wasn't as available to these teams. But that's a steal if he stays healthy. There are reports that he already needs another back surgery, cleanup type procedure before the season would start. So you can see why he did slip all the way to 22.
And then Minnesota, with that trade down at 23, they get Christian Darsow.
It's a good player.
Also,
good player
Virginia
for them.
Tech.
And they got extra draft picks. Ended up with a player they probably would have taken if they stuck at, 14 was it? So that was a good move by them.
And then we move on. Steelers.
Oh, it broke my heart.
Yeah.
You knew it was coming, though. I think that outside of the top 3 picks or top 2 picks, that one was a lock.
That one was the lock. When he didn't go, when we thought he was going to
Miami.
That was the lock though there.
Yeah, that's the one that made me mad.
There were reports
right when he
today,
didn't go to Miami, I knew he was going there, and that's when I could have got right in my predictions.
And they're saying that they're going to go another running back in round 2. Steelers are.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's what they think this is the 70s again. Huh?
The report is that they're taking, in the first and second round, they're taking running backs, yeah.
Wow. I wonder, where do they pick in the second round?
Man, it's after 52.
Well, they're going to be in trouble to get that North Carolina running back then.
Yeah,
right?
Javonte Williams looks like he's going to go off the board in the first
They pick
5, 6
They pick
picks.
at 55, gentlemen.
So right now, the over-under for Javonte Williams being drafted tonight is pick 49.5. The Dolphins have pick 50, so they're setting the Dolphins' second-round pick as the landing spot for Javonte if he does slide a little bit.
Fair.
I'd be stoked if the Dolphins were to get Javonte. I'd take him at 36, which is the Dolphins' first second-round pick. And I was reading from a lot of the Dolphins insiders yesterday that they were feverishly trying to trade back up into the first round ahead of Pittsburgh to be able to draft Najee, which would have fulfilled my prophecy from yesterday about the Dolphins having 3 first-round picks in 2 consecutive years. They were unable to find themselves a trade partner, so Pittsburgh got themselves the best running back in the draft, and they got him at 24.
All right, let's take a quick break. Let's finish up the round 1, and then let's talk about some names that we should be paying attention to that's going to be going on tonight in round 2.
Okay, everybody, you know about Front Street Brewery. They are the oldest brew pub in Iowa, been rocking and rolling since 1992 with great beers like our Davenport Gold, the Wise Guy, the Raging River, and the Cherry Bomb Blonde. You can find all of their food and drink specials on their Facebook page or visit the webpage, www.frontstreetbrew.com. That's Front Street Brewery. The restaurant is in 208 Reese River Drive in the tap room, the Freight House Complex.
This is Coach A.C. Earl. Don't hassle us. We're local.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Time for an oil change? We've got a great deal that can help you get it done. Right now, you can get 5 quarts of Pennzoil Platinum, full synthetic motor oil, and an STP Extended Life oil filter for just $31.99. And you can get it all fast, your way. Just order online with our free same-day store pickup or next-day delivery. Getting your job done just got easier. Restrictions apply.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
With Mother's Day around the corner, now's the time to visit JCPenney's Friends and Family Sale. Get up to 50% off amazing brands she'll love, like Liz Claiborne and Exertion Activewear. Shop gifts from apparel and swimwear to ultra-comfy robes. Plus, save even more with an extra 30% off coupon. Celebrate the woman who does it all. JCPenney. Offers and coupons valid through 5/2. Some exclusions apply. See store or jcp.com for details.
Clay's Cleaning Service has a spotless reputation.
Take care of the windows. Hello, this is Clay.
But his business operations could use a light dusting.
Boy, I had you scheduled for next week. I'll just check here. No, absolutely. We will be there tomorrow.
Indeed can help him hire the people he needs.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job, you immediately get your short list of quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job criteria. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
If you own a small business, you know how hard it can be to find new customers. Now, Town Square has new tools that can help your business stand out and grow today. Go to GetLocalCustomersNow.com for a free local market competitive analysis that will show you what other businesses in town are doing to find new customers and how you can do it too with Town Square. Plus, be one of the first business owners to sign up with Town Square and receive $500 in free advertising on this radio station. Start growing your business today. Visit GetLocalCustomersNow.com. GetLocalCustomersNow.com.
Janae and Golick Jr.
Milwaukee built this up the right way. They built it around the superstar and built it as well as you could have, but this is starting to look more and more, should they fall short this year, like Milwaukee becoming a fancy, high-powered version of the Toronto Raptors before Kawhi got there. Meaning you can be the number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference during the regular season, and you're going to hit an understandable ceiling. Like, they ran into that LeBron James ceiling for years, and for Milwaukee, Giannis may have chosen a bad time to put up in the Eastern Conference and say, I'm going to make my home here, when all of a sudden James Harden and these guys came and decided to make Brooklyn their home.
People want to win now, and at some point, the criticism is going to come to Giannis, unfortunately, because he's been that successful so early. And they're like, well, when are you going to win? Hopefully it's this year, because then it'll quiet all those critics. But I don't know about that with Brooklyn out there and Joel Embiid out there. I don't know about that, though.
Janae and Golick Jr., 306 on the Quad City Sports Leader, ESPN 1170.
Hey, I'm Andy. If you don't know me, it's probably because I'm not famous.
But I did start a men's grooming company called Harry's. The idea for Harry's came out of a frustrating experience I had buying razor blades. Most brands were overpriced, overdesigned, and out of touch. At Harry's, our approach is simple. Here's our secret. We make sharp, durable blades and sell them at honest prices for as low as $2 each. We care about quality so much that we do some crazy things, like buy a world-class German blade factory. Obsessing over every detail means we're confident in offering a 100% quality guarantee. Millions of guys have already made the switch to Harry's, so thank you if you're one of them. And if you're not, we hope you give us a try with this special offer. Get a Harry starter set with a 5-blade razor, weighted handle, shave gel, and a travel cover, all for just $3 plus free shipping. Just go to harrys.com and enter 5510 at checkout. That's harrys.com, code 5510. Enjoy.
It's time to rise and grind. Keyshawn, J. Will, and Zubin.
Even if you weren't playing the best, which Mitchell Trubisky was not at the beginning of the year, even though the defense was stepping up their game to a different level and making him look decent, you're still undefeated. I don't understand why you get benched for Nick Foles at that time. And we're seeing it across multiple landscapes of different teams. When that relationship becomes fractured, that's hard to get back. And I think that relationship between Trubisky and Matt Nagy, the way Matt Nagy handled that with a guy like Nick Foles, that he brought in to say, hey, let's steal this thunder, I don't think you just get that back. So for anybody that's like, oh, why we sign Andy Dalton? We could have got Mitchell Trubisky. I'm sitting there saying, if I'm Mitchell Trubisky, I don't want to go back to Chicago. Clearly. Why do I want to go back to Matt Nagy? I want nothing to do with you. You go ahead and you take all that bad karma and you keep it right there.
Keyshawn, J. Will, and Zubin. Mornings on the Quad City Sports Leader, ESPN 1170. From the Vegas Gaming Cafe, this is the Quad City Sports Leader, ESPN 1170 AM, KBLB Davenport, a Town Square media station.
All right, everybody. We are back again.
Yeah.
Where did we leave off, guys? At Pittsburgh and Najee Harris?
Yeah. We were off the air, but I said I actually, great player, but I don't like the pick because Pittsburgh doesn't have the offensive line to allow Najee to be successful. James Conner is not a bad football player. Anybody who plays fantasy football knows that when the Steelers' offensive line was good, James Conner was good. When the Steelers' offensive line was bad, James Conner was bad. See the correlation there?
Well, they signed Mason Rudolph to an extension. That's good, too.
He's a big boy. Maybe he could play like right guard or something.
They lost the Villanueva guy, too.
Yep.
Villanueva. We made it almost the entire show without mentioning Tim Tebow. So,
I'm so excited.
Hey, I told you off the air yesterday when we figured it out.
Mm-hmm.
He loves God, and Jesus is now the quarterback for Jackson.
There you go.
He had to follow him.
That's right.
Yeah.
I mean, why does he even need to try out? That's the dumbest thing. Reports are he's trying out with Jacksonville.
Dude, they asked
Urban's
the GM,
like, you're in.
They asked the GM, and he was like, "We'll talk about this after the draft."
Yeah. How old's Tebow?
Oh God, I don't know. When was he drafted?
That's a good question.
20.
That's a really good question.
2010. Was it that long ago?
Go Tebow happened he was a rookie in 2011.
Yeah, so this dude, and he played 4 years at college. So he's 33, 34. He's my age.
Oh, we got a phone call.
If I got hit by an NFL defender, I would explode like a crash test dummy.
Here we go.
Welcome to the show. Who do we have calling in?
You got Mikey with Balls and Sticks, the podcast. How you guys doing?
Hey, Mikey. What's up?
Hey, Mikey.
So I got a couple of things. I'm a little late on the Bears one, I know, but real quick, I think the Bears, I like the pick, who they picked. I don't like what they gave up for him. I think they overpaid a little bit too much. I think maybe all they really needed to do was get above New England, but I still think New England was going out after Mac Jones anyway, so that didn't matter.
I think if Fields is your guy, you're not going to care what you gave up to get him. Quarterback's the most important position, so you give him an extra first to grab him, so be it.
Right, but my problem with it is that it's Ryan Pace saying, I don't care about the future anymore. Because Ryan Pace knows that if he doesn't win this year, he's gone.
Right. But that's how it goes in the NFL. But he probably just bought himself an extra couple years with the Fields pick because he can say, well, yeah, I know we didn't do well this year, but I got a rookie quarterback here, and he's going to take us to the promised land. So give me another year. Give me another shot. I think he might have bought himself an extra couple of years with the Fields pick.
I think that's what he's hoping for. I don't know that he actually gets a full extra year if they don't do well this year.
It'll all depend on how Fields does. So the Bears could be, 1-7 through 8 games because Dalton and Foles are terrible. But if Fields comes in, and the bar will be pretty low at that point because you got a 1-7 team. If Fields comes in and wins, 4 games, 5 games in those remaining 10 games, then the future is going to look bright. Everybody will think, hey, we hit a home run on this pick, and I think Pace will be fine.
I'm not sure on that one, but I will. I have one more thing. It's Friday. Let's do some reckless speculation.
Sure.
I know, Jay, you're going to love this one.
Great.
I'm going to move down to the 29th pick with Green Bay. I think the reason that everything came out yesterday afternoon is that Aaron Rodgers got told by one of the front office guys, "Oh yeah, we're picking this cornerback. We're not listening to you anymore." And that's when he said, "I'm done." And he's officially. This is what is causing him to put this out, because he wouldn't have put this out unless he meant to put it out. He does his best to control the narrative around him, which is why when his brother was on The Bachelor, it was terrible for him and he hated it.
Okay.
So the fact that they went with cornerback instead of getting him some offensive weaponry, he's like, "I'm done. I'm not doing this anymore." And he knew it at 4 o'clock, and that was him tipping the hand of Green Bay early in the day.
All right, so if we're recklessly speculating, he calls the front office and he says, "Hey, do you know what direction you're going?" And they're like, "We do, and it's going to be defense." And he's like, "You're sure about this?" And they say, like, "Yes, we don't know how it's all going to play out, the 28 picks ahead of us, because there's going to be some trades, but we do feel confident in defense." And so you're recklessly speculating. He says, "That's it. I'm going to put this out there. I'm going to tell my agent. I'm telling everyone I'm just done in Green Bay."
100%.
And he does control the narrative.
Take.
And we've talked about this before. The one thing I do like about Aaron Rodgers, the one thing I really like about him, outside of that he should win the MVP every year, is when he goes into an interview and he puts down a recorder right in front of the guy giving the interview, and he starts recording the conversation. He says, "I have to do this. You understand that, right?" Because he doesn't want anything to be taken out of context, so he can always come back and say, "This is how I said it.
Yep.
This person is listening wrong." So, yes, he does control the narrative, and it's the same thing we talked about at the beginning of the show. The Packers are like family to me, which is very, very funny that Merrick brings up that quote, because then you bring up his brother and the family and how they don't really get along at all. So he does control the narrative.
And then finally, on the Tim Tebow side, I think he's going to come back faster than he ever did when he was playing football, because when you're playing baseball, you need the speed more than you need the power. So that's why I think tight end is going to be great for him, why he's going to be able to play at a high level at tight end, because he had to develop the speed for which he needed in baseball, and getting to AAA is no easy feat. You guys know it. I know it.
Oh, yeah.
Getting to AAA takes a ton of work. So him getting there proves that he was able to get his speed up in order to make a tight end position work better for him.
It still sells tickets, though.
Oh, yeah. Especially in Jacksonville.
Yeah. I mean,
100%.
Getting where he's at or whatever. But, yeah. No,
Yeah.
Yeah, well, thanks, Mikey. I appreciate it, and I'd love the reckless speculation. You're right, and these guys bring up great points. That Aaron Rodgers it's very possible he's not going to be the quarterback of the Packers next year, and that's crazy to think.
I mean, we've seen a whole lot of change recently. You never thought you'd see Tom Brady wearing another jersey, and not only was he wearing another jersey, he was winning a Super Bowl in another jersey.
Amen.
Yeah. All right,
Last
buddy.
Interesting fact about the Packers: never once has a quarterback played more than 16 years for the Green Bay Packers.
That's true.
This will
Favre,
be
16.
Aaron Rodgers' 17th year.
Yep. Bart Starr played 16. Brett Favre played 16.
That's a great stat.
Rodgers has played 16.
That's a great stat. That's crazy, though.
Sweet little 16.
So, fellas, check us out tomorrow morning around 10:30 at facebook.com/ballsandsticks to check out our live show, or check us out anywhere you find your podcast. Just search us, Balls and Sticks, the podcast. Thanks,
Love
fellas.
it. Appreciate you, man. Yep. Great call. Great call. Great insight. All right. 33 years old, Tim Tebow. And we've got like 20 minutes here. Is anybody else out there in the league 33 years old?
What?
Julio Jones?
No, as a tight end.
Oh, oldest tight ends in
Gronk?
the league? Gronk's not 33 yet. I don't believe so. Jason Witten just retired.
He was like 38.
He's got 38 concussions.
Yeah.
Calm it down.
Why do you get so defensive about the Cowboys when I say
Well,
something? Because you think I just
get
spoke on the
defensive
Bears?
about some old quarterback from when you were 5.
I was 10 years old when they won Super Bowl 20, by the way.
How old's like Brent Selleck? Is he still in the league?
I don't think he's still in the league.
I can't find his age right now. It's right there. I'm trying to look up.
Well, you tell us what you've
drafted in 2010, so Gronkowski's got age. Yeah. With Arizona, so he's right there. He's right around there at the 33.
He's close, yeah.
Yeah, but he's not even a top 10 tight end in the league.
Well, you got beat the hell.
He did catch a touchdown in the Super Bowl.
Tebow doesn't have any abuse on him.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. All right, real quick. Let's just do. And I know we're going all over the place. So we do. How far do you want me to drop down? Would you? Okay, let's just go at the outside the top 5. Would you rather have your boy Mike Gesicki or Tim Tebow at tight end?
Gesicki, for sure.
T.J. Hawkinson or Tim Tebow?
Hawkinson.
Noah Fant or Tim Tebow?
Fant.
Hunter Henry or C.J. Uzama?
Yeah, him.
Logan Thomas or
he had a good season.
Evan Ingram or
Ingram.
Rob Gronkowski or him?
Yes.
Gronk.
Dalton Schultz or him?
Schultz.
Nah.
Eric Ebron or Tim Tebow?
Ebron.
Tebow.
Robert Tanyan or
Tanyan for sure.
OJ Howard or Tebow?
Howard.
Hayden Hurst or Tebow?
Hurst.
Tyler Higbee or Tebow?
Tebow.
Is that it? Are we getting there? Okay.
We've hit the Mendoza line.
Austin Hopper?
Hooper,
yeah.
Hooper.
You know what? Screw it. I'm taking Tebow over Hooper.
Jordan Atkins.
Definitely Tebow.
All right, so he's right around the 20th best tight end in the league is what we're at.
I mean, we'll see. We'll see. Tebow's an elite athlete. And
he really is.
He's great for your locker room. He's just, I don't know. Like, I just love his positivity. I was never one of those guys that was like, oh, I hate Tebow. He's so nice.
He will be the Torrey Hunter of that thing. When everyone's like, why is Coach Meyer doing it? He's like, well, let me tell you about what Coach Meyer's the psyche that he's going through right now. And he'll be able to usher in the new regime because he'll be the one in between, like just the bridge of the gap.
And he's got himself Carlos Hyde there. How many of his former players, maybe Alex Smith will come out of retirement and come back and back up Lawrence there?
Yeah. Well, we brought up the 29th pick. Is there anything else in the first round that was surprising while we kind of wrap this up? And
I thought Baltimore did a really good job with their 2 picks at the end. Rashad Bateman
and Jason Owa.
Most people had Bateman as the number 4 receiver in the draft.
Yeah.
Good player. He goes to Baltimore. How effective will he be? I'm not drafting him in fantasy because Lamar Jackson is his quarterback, and Jackson gets most of his points by running instead of throwing. And then they got not a productive player, but an athletic freak in Jason Alway, which I believe he wants to go by his birth name now. He was going by Jason because his birth name was difficult to pronounce. I don't remember what it was. It was like Odafe or Odafe or something like that. So we'll have to change that when we speak about him
Cleveland's
going forward.
pick, Greg Newsome at 26.
Yeah, a good solid corner there.
We kind of criticized Jacksonville for Travis Etienne a little bit. Buffalo getting Gregory Rousseau, I thought that helps them out immensely.
Yeah.
Didn't most of them have people Rousseau dropping out of the first round though? A lot of things
I had Rousseau dropping into 33, so for him to go at 30 is not a stretch.
He had a really productive 2019. He opted out last year, so that probably hurt his stock a little bit. But he only has 1 year of production at Miami, so it is a gamble.
And he was I saw his interview with Dallas when he interviewed with them, and he is a well-spoken kid, intelligent, so I saw that him popping back in. I liked it.
Joe Tryon for Tampa, some people would say it was a reach, but I have some stuff that I've been reading that they were really high on Tryon, so they might have got themselves a maybe not an immediate impact player, but somebody to help him out. And what does Tampa need?
Yeah, so what are we looking at now for 33 pick, the 33 pick and moving on in the second round? Like, where is the Davis Mills, the Kellen Mond, Kyle Trask? Who needs a quarterback? What are we looking at? What names did we miss in the first round that we should be paying attention to tonight?
I don't know if any of those guys go in the second round.
I think you might see Tampa taking a quarterback late in the second.
There was some speculation that they were going to take him at 32. There was going to be Davis Mills or Kellen Mond.
Yeah, so I could see if those guys are still available.
At what pick?
It's they picked the last pick in the second round, so that would be pick
64th?
number 64.
I think the big one on the board that everybody thought was going to go round one would be JOK, Jeremiah Owusu Karamoa.
Mm-hmm.
I think he'll go pretty quickly in the second round. You're looking at Elijah Moore, wide receiver. Most people thought he was going to sneak into the first round as well.
Yeah.
Wide receiver from Ole Miss. You got Tevin Jenkins, right tackle from Oklahoma State, who people thought was going to be a first-round pick. You got Christian Barmore, who people thought was going to be a first-round pick, but I know there's some off-the-field concerns. Azeez Ojulari, edge rusher from Georgia. Reports came out this week that he has a degenerative condition in his knee. Yeah. So that's always a huge red flag. So you might see him drop even a little bit more. Asante Samuel Jr., cornerback from Florida State. Obviously, bloodlines there in the NFL. Running back Javonte Williams. I'd be really excited if the Dolphins were able to get him at 36. We'll see if he lasts that long. You got an edge rusher, Ronnie Perkins from Oklahoma. Dylan Radins from North Dakota State at offensive tackle. And so on and so forth. Landon Dickerson, Creed Humphrey, both play center. Those guys could go early.
Javon Holland, Jay, a couple of other names out there. Jackson Carman, tackle out of Clemson. Large man.
We talked about Morig a few times.
Yeah.
He is still available as well. So there are some really good names left on the board. I think, yesterday you predicted a whole lot of trades in the first round.
I sure thought it was going to happen.
We didn't get as many as you thought, but I think the second round might be where you start to see some of these trades happen.
I think Kyle Trask goes at 64. I'm sorry.
To Tampa?
To Tampa?
Yeah.
I could see it.
And they plays behind Brady for the next 2 years. Tom does 2 more years.
So they have Brady, Rosen.
Rosen's in San Francisco now.
He is?
Yeah.
But he backed up last year.
He did, yeah.
Yeah.
But now he got signed off the practice squad by Shanahan in San Fran.
Okay. So, yeah, they're probably going to need someone to back up then. Who was it there? I just saw the thing. Who was the backup of him last year?
For Tampa?
Outside of just Rosen.
Blaine Gabbert?
Yeah.
Was Blaine Gabbert in there?
Yeah.
Okay. There's like one other guy, though.
I did
just holds a
I did
clipboard.
extra work at WrestleMania 31 with the red Yo Gabba Gabba.
Did you?
I did. He talked about it all day long. He's like, well, I kind of like wrestling, but I act on television. I'm like, oh, you do? What are you on? He's like, I'm the red Yo Gabba Gabba.
I don't even know. I know what Yo Gabba Gabba is. I don't know what the red Yo Gabba Gabba thing is.
I don't know what that is at all.
Yeah, it's a kid's show.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Yeah.
He just kept saying it, and I was like, cool, bro.
Cool, bro.
Speaking of wrestling,
I met Arnold Schwarzenegger that day. I don't care about Yo Gabba
Yeah,
Gabba,
yeah.
bro.
How did the live event go?
Oh my God, dude! It was fantastic. We had 300 people packed into the courtyard of the beer stoop. Everyone was wearing masks, so don't get on my case on Twitter.
Okay.
It was fantastic, man. It was so awesome to have people back.
I saw Cornboy's
and
entrance.
Everyone was super loud and energetic and supportive of what we were doing. It was fantastic. We actually have an event tomorrow from noon to 2 at Gonzo's in Davenport. We're part of their Cinco de Mayo festival.
Nice.
So we'll be performing from noon to 2 if you want to come check it out. I know they have VIP tickets. I don't know if it costs to get in. I'm not 100% sure. But they do have VIP tickets available where you get to have a front row seat to the wrestling, and it comes with some food and some adult refreshments.
How does Gonzo's Cinco de Mayo SCW not have a Spanish announcer's table?
Well, maybe we will, Jay.
Yeah, someone's got to go through it, right? I mean, it makes sense to me. Someone's going through that table.
But then we return back to the beer stube on May 22nd, 8 o'clock start time, $10 tickets on that. But I'm telling you what, I was nervous that people may have forgotten about what we do, even though we've been around for quite a long time. But that I couldn't have been more wrong. That was not the case. People came out. They were loud. There were so many of them. And it was a fantastic night of pro wrestling, and it was a great way to kick off our spring and summer schedule coming up, all outdoor events.
So that's going to be noon to 2 tomorrow, and third and fourth round will be going on as well. So if you're like slowly cursing underneath your breath, you're not yelling at the wrestlers. You're just mad because of something happened at the draft.
Correct.
Okay. Just wanted to let everyone know out there.
I will be on my phone all day long scrolling through, figuring out, because I'm a fiend, man. I don't just stop.
Said it. You said I'm going to watch every. You said I
will
follow every minute of it.
Yeah, I don't just watch the first round.
Somebody's
and
going
then
to be really mad at me at 6 o'clock tonight at my house.
Yeah, you think so?
Because I want to be left alone. Just go away.
That's what do you mean? That's what you say?
I'm telling her to go away. I'm watching the draft. She's really upset.
Yeah, I wonder what we're going to drive in Iowa City. We got a softball tournament. We'll get something to eat. Yeah. I don't know how I'll have to do it online more. The kids will take over all the other stuff.
So those picks go like wildfire on, fourth round and on, because you only get 5 minutes per pick, and usually they just run them up there real quick. So you'll be able to check it out online pretty easily.
When are we going to see an Iowa player go?
I still think it's Davion Nixon first.
Yeah, I think it is as well.
I think
Davion Nixon and then Amir Marset.
It's concerning that Barmore dropped. I have Davion as the third ranked defensive tackle. I'm sorry, lineman. But Levi on Wazariki is there as well. So there's 3 of them that can go in the second round, and it just seems.
Yeah, I think his name will get called tonight. Either second or third round, early third.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't. I had him going to Dallas. I'd still be happy with that, but we'll see. Being what they had to take.
Oh man, we're almost done. What? This goes too fast. What do you?
I know 2 hours goes quick. So we got the draft all weekend, and then what do we do after? Then the schedule release. That's the thing. I actually
three weeks from now, I believe.
Is it really?
Yep, 3 weeks from now, schedule release.
And we'll kind of know, and that's when we get to look at everything. And
you saw the commercials last night. Biggest season ever, because they all added one game. Who watched ESPN and who watched NFL Network?
I put it on NFL Network.
Yeah,
I did as well.
I listened to ESPN.
I
had
they
it
had
on
better
ESPN
stats about him.
for maybe 6 seconds, and then I heard Mike Greenberg's voice, and I was like, nope. And I switched it off and went straight to NFL Network. I can't stand Mike Greenberg.
They had better stat lines and stuff going on at the bottom of NFL Network.
Yeah. Rich Eisen is hosting, and he's just cool.
Yeah.
I hate Greenberg.
I'm with you.
I hate him. He's a dork.
He is a dork.
He really is. But how does he take today off? He wasn't on his show today. How do you not be on your show?
Yeah, he did the draft.
You're in the
coverage.
Nielsen rating week. You're in the Nielsen ratings right now.
It was late. He needs his beauty rest. He needed to properly moisturize.
It didn't make sense to me. I was surprised not to hear him this morning when I was driving around.
I would have been happy not to hear him.
Yeah, I guess.
I used to love the Mike and Mike show when I was a little bit younger, and so I was like, oh yeah, I like these guys. And then when Golick left and it was just Greenberg, I was like, man, I freaking hate Mike Greenberg.
Hey, ESPN loves him. T-Roy's always pointed out, he's like, the show's the same shtick all the time. Oh, you like donuts, Golick? Yeah, I do. and he's right. When T-Roy points it out, it's like, if you listen to it, but I don't really, I just don't.
Fat, you're little.
I don't think he's ever been held accountable for any of
Isn't
his
that
dumb
the
hot
premise
takes,
of Kings of Queens?
Yeah, well, Jay and I could do the same thing on this show if that was the case. Hey, Jay, little buddy.
But there's like, so the Sirius XM, like I have like 5 different channels of sports. And when I leave here, I usually listen to ESPN 1170, and then I'll go over. Fox does a replay of Skip and Shannon Sharp, I think it is.
Yep.
It's not
Clowns.
good.
Oh,
yeah,
God,
the Tiki and on CBS Sports, Tiki and someone else, not good. The fantasy sports drives me crazy.
There's so many shows that I used to like that I was like, oh, this is a good show. But the way that sports talk radio has gone nowadays is just like everyone has to say the absolute most ridiculous take that you could possibly ever have about anyone,
I just like
so that you get the clicks on the Twitter and you get the listens the next day and whatever. I used to like Colin Cowherd as well, and now he's just a joker.
But Jay pointed out to me, and I figured it out. He's right. Colin, when he wants his ratings to go up, will either praise you or talk crap about you.
Yeah,
he's got it down.
He's done that about Tua on both sides of the coin.
Yep.
When before the draft last year, he said you got to go get Tua. I love Tua. He's going to be a stud. And then they draft Tua, and Tua didn't even play a single game before he flopped and said the Dolphins screwed up. They should not have taken
numbers are down
Tua.
in Miami, but they're fine in Alabama, and that's why he was doing it.
Yep.
All right, that's gonna be it for us today. It's our last show of April, so we'll see you in May. Have fun with your social media when you guys get to post things about NSYNC. It's gonna be May, all that fun stuff, and next time May the
was that a circle reference,
there you go.
Jay?
And then, no, not yet. And then
no spoilers.
We're getting close. We're getting close to May the 4th be with you. All these dumb things that are going to happen that are just going to drive me nuts are coming up. All right, Merrick, thank you so much. Appreciate everything that you've done. T. Roy, good job. Hey, enjoy the rest of the draft. Congratulations to all the young men that are now starting their professional careers. We will see you guys later. Enjoy your weekend, Quad City. Stay safe and sanitized.
Peace.
Burning, snapping necks, and cash.
You like that? You like that?
Give me a hell yeah! I said give me a hell yeah!
This is Tyson Blazer, and you're listening to Don't Hassle Us, We're Local on ESPN 1170 AM.
So you say you're in the market for a truck or sedan. Maybe your family needs a minivan.